Good afternoon to Miss Shivani and my dear fellow friends. Before starting the speech, Rachel, would you want to come grab a drink with me and the girls at Zook? We're expecting you and I'm gonna give you a free ride back and forth. Now, what will Rachel answer? Yes or no? Notice how my question was practically telling her instead of asking. This is actually a statement which appears as another and is waiting for an immediate reply. It is quite hard to get away from direct peer pressure, as most commonly we would say yes or okay. Now, here comes the question. Is peer pressure affecting teenagers negatively? Peer pressure is a direct influence on people who get encouraged to do the same things. It is something we can't control. It happens around us, but the final decision to follow is up to you yourself. Guys, think about it. How many times have we answered yes to do something we actually did not want to do out of peer pressure? Changing your answers because yours are the odd one amongst your peers' answers? Or getting the new iPhone 12 because peers around you is also getting one? Things we are doing that weren't our first intention but only to follow the others just because we don't want to stand out is also the action we call fitting in. Just like the song Cool Kids by Echo Smith, there's lyrics like, they all got the same heartbeat, but hers is falling behind. And I wish that I could be like the cool kids because all the cool kids, they all seem to fit in. A study from AACAP, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, has stated that teens often give in to peer pressure as they want to fit in, be liked, and worry that they will be left out if they don't belong with a group. Now, you might be thinking, following the others, fitting in might make you gain a circle of friends and it makes you look cooler. Instead, no. Doing things that you were practically told or forced to when it wasn't something you wanted to do from the bottom of your heart, it just sounds pathetic. You even have to act like you're happy with your decisions. Instead, putting in peer pressure on someone else that hasn't joined your gang. Living a life that isn't called yours but following the others just because you wanted to be the same is not cool at all. The Canadian Lung Association has stated that 70% of teens that smokes have friends that smokes or started smoking because of peer pressure. We have to get rid of negative peer pressure before it gets even worse, and now isn't too late to do that. First, think and pay attention to how you feel and what your heart really wants. If the situation makes you feel uncomfortable and you think it is something dangerous or wrong, say no politely with a decent excuse and walk away from the situation. If your peers are still not letting you go, notice that these are the kind of friends that you shouldn't mix in with, reject them firmly, and never get in contact with them ever again. If you're having problems with peer pressure, talk to a grown-up that you can trust and help you deal with it. Spend more time with the others that resist peer pressure and do something else that you think it is right to do. Now, Rachel, would you want to come study with me in the library for our economics test tomorrow? Notice that this question is much more polite and it doesn't foresee negative peer pressure. Peer pressure can be something good and positive if the intention was to help the others and doing something right. Of course, the final decision is up to you, leaving you options to choose. Knowing what's right and wrong, knowing which group of peers you should or shouldn't mix in with, and you should be able to get rid of negative peer pressure. Now, let's predict Rachel's future. What would have happened if she said yes to my first offer and no to my second offer? And what would have happened if she did the opposite ways? Saying yes to a nightclub might not do any harm as the first time, but once you have had your first time, many offers like that will be coming Rachel's way because she has accepted it the very first time. Saying That will take way too long of realization to hit her if and knowing she won't be able to get out of this never ending nightmare. So saying yes to the right and no to the wrong, it will definitely change your life, and 10 years later you will be so thankful of yourself for making the right decision. Just like how CrossFit CEO Mark Terra has quoted, it's better to walk alone than following a crowd that's going in the wrong direction. Do what you feel is right. Always remember, do something that you wanted to do, not because you wanted to live up to others' expectations. Life is way too short to think about what others think about you, so live your own life like how you always wanted it to be. So, Rachel, do you know what kind of offer you are going to accept now? Thank you all for listening.